Caitlin Clark is not just a basketball player, she is a phenomenon who changed the landscape of women's basketball forever. Her journey from a small-town gym in Iowa to becoming the most talked-about name in the sport is a story of talent, confidence, controversy, and undeniable greatness. Caitlin Clark was born on January 22, 2002, in West Des Moines, Iowa. From a very young age, it was clear that she was different. While most kids were still figuring out their hobbies, Caitlin already had a basketball in her hands. She grew up in a sports-loving family, where competition was encouraged and hard work was a daily habit. As a child, Caitlin often played against boys because the competition was tougher. Instead of being intimidated, she thrived. Those early battles shaped her fearless style of play, deep shooting range, high basketball IQ, and supreme confidence. She didn't just want to play basketball, she wanted to dominate it. At Dowling Catholic High School, Caitlin Clark became a national sensation. She shattered records, scored at will, and led her team with authority far beyond her age. By the time she graduated, she had scored over 2,500 points, becoming one of the highest scorers in Iowa high school history. Her performances attracted national attention. College scouts knew they weren't just watching a good player, they were watching a future superstar. Despite offers from elite programs across the country, Caitlin made a bold decision. She chose to stay home and play for the University of Iowa. When Caitlin Clark joined the Iowa Hawkeyes, women's college basketball changed almost overnight. From her very first season, she played with confidence, swagger, and a shooting range that fans had rarely seen before. She quickly became known for logo three-pointers, elite court vision, no-fear mentality, clutch performances. Clark didn't just score points, she controlled games. Defenses couldn't stop her, and crowds packed arenas just to watch her play. Caitlin Clark's college career was historic. She broke record after record, eventually becoming the all-time leading scorer in NCAA women's basketball history, surpassing legends who once seemed untouchable. What made her special wasn't just the points, it was how she scored them. Deep threes, no-look passes, step-back shots, and clutch moments defined her game. She turned ordinary games into must-watch events. Television ratings skyrocketed whenever Iowa played. Arenas sold out. Even neutral fans tuned in just to see what Caitlin Clark would do next. Caitlin Clark's confidence became one of her most talked-about traits. She celebrated big shots, talked trash, and embraced the spotlight. Some praised her for bringing personality and fire to the game. Others criticized her, saying she was too flashy or disrespectful. She believed confidence wasn't arrogance, it was preparation meeting opportunity. Her attitude inspired a new generation of players, especially young girls, to play boldly and unapologetically. One of the biggest storylines of Caitlin Clark's career was her rivalry with other elite players, especially Angel Reese and powerhouse teams like LSU and South Carolina. These matchups brought unprecedented attention to women's basketball. Trash talk, celebrations, and high-stakes games fueled debates across social media and sports media alike. Instead of hurting the game, these rivalries elevated it. Ratings hit record highs, proving that women's basketball had arrived on the biggest stage. Caitlin Clark's influence extended far beyond basketball. She became a cultural figure, someone who changed how women athletes were viewed. Increased TV ratings for women's basketball. Bring sold-out crowds to college arenas. Attract major sponsorships and NIL deals. Inspire young athletes worldwide. Brands lined up to work with her, but she stayed grounded. Caitlin always credited her teammates, coaches, and family for her success. When Caitlin Clark declared for the WNBA draft, it was one of the most anticipated moments in league history. She entered the professional ranks with massive expectations, and the pressure that comes with being labeled the future of the league. Her arrival brought new fans to the WNBA, increased ticket sales, record-breaking viewership. Every game she played became a headline. Every shot she took was analyzed. And while the transition to professional basketball wasn't always easy, Caitlin embraced the challenge. With fame came criticism. Some questioned whether her college success would translate to the pros. Others scrutinized her confidence and media attention. But Caitlin Clark never shied away from adversity. She continued to work, adjust, and improve. Her resilience became another defining trait, proving she wasn't just talented, but mentally strong. Even early in her professional career, Caitlin Clark's legacy is undeniable. She didn't just play the game, she changed it. She proved that women's basketball could draw massive audiences, create viral moments, produce global superstars, Most importantly, she inspired millions of young athletes to dream bigger. Caitlin Clark is more than a scorer, more than a record breaker, and more than a viral highlight machine. She represents a new era of women's sports, fearless, confident, and unapologetically great. Her story is still being written, but one thing is certain. Caitlin Clark didn't just rise to the top, she lifted the entire game with her.